Hi guys, recently I took part in a live chat with Mike the Disgruntled Mechanic. Some of you guys may or may not have been aware of this. It was a good time. Mike posted the live stream on his channel, Mike the Disgruntled Mechanic. He and his wife were there chatting with me, myself and I, and whoever else was chatting in the chat room. His wife Helga has her own YouTube channel, Helga's Pennsylvania Cooking. Feel free to check out her channel as well as his channel, Mike the Disgruntled Mechanic. Once again, thank you to Mike for having hosted the live stream. Thank you for bringing my channel to the attention of your viewers, and that's the reason I'm doing this on my channel, posting your chat, which I asked you permission for. And just so you guys know, I did ask him. He said yes, it would be no problem to post that video on my channel, and that's why I'm doing it, to making people of my subscribers aware of his channel so that they can check out his channel. Again, links are going to be in the description. Mike the Disgruntled Mechanic, as well as Helga's Pennsylvania Cooking. And here's the chat. I might edit some of it, or I might just leave it all complete. I'm not sure. I had technical difficulties in the beginning. The first 30 minutes was just of Mike and Helga. I had bought brand new equipment, webcam and a microphone. It was working a half an hour before the actual live chat, but then when it came down to connecting, something went wrong and I couldn't connect for like a half an hour. Anyways, long story short, here's the live chat. A little bit not so live anymore. Thanks. Bye.
Well, you can. Did you get an external?
There
you
are.
Yay.
Hey.
Finally.
Okay, Thomas is in the house finally.
Hey, Thomas.
Hi.
My stupidity, but what is Thomas?
EXOVCDS. Yeah. That's one of the biggest questions, I think.
Okay, somebody wants to know your bio, but before we get into that, I just want to say, I want to give a channel, what it is, what you do, and then I want to give some of my comments on the channel, if that's okay.
Sure, much appreciated. And first of all, thank you for inviting me here and hosting the live chat. So much appreciated. First things first, the Thomas EXOVCDS. EXOVCDS was just a nickname, or you know how you assign your computer a name. I had a laptop several years ago that was an EXO PC. It was called an EXO PC. And then I needed a username, so I figured, well, I'll just use EXO, and I'll use VCDS from, obviously, Rostec VCDS, the VAGCOM software. And that's how EXOVCDS came about.
Okay, little bit about what you do on your channel and what you work on specifically. Because
mainly Volkswagen and Audi. We do work on other things as well, whatever comes in the door, basically. But since we're pretty much known for Volkswagen and Audis, that's pretty much all we see mainly.
Yeah, it does.
And then I just want to make my comment on your channel. I don't think in my life I'm going to work on a VW or an Audi. I'm not sure, but I doubt it. But I enjoy watching your channel, and I'm the type of person that I don't care what the person is working on, because a lot of the vehicles are the same to a certain point. Always going to learn something, a shortcut that may be similar vehicles and stuff, and I like the way that you present it.
Oh, thank you very much. And I actually I shouldn't say proud of myself in terms of, but I think I'm the first one to film via video glasses, and has been doing it consistently like that for 3+ years. So that's the main thing that I'm sort of well, I guess proud of, that I started that trend, and not that anybody else is doing it right now, but I'm sticking with it. And like I said, it's an easy way for me to record and work at the same time. And then and it's because of the point of view, from my video glasses, I think that's the best way to see something. But a lot of people are having a hard time with it, unfortunately, because they get motion sickness.
So do you use, is yours Google Glasses, or what do you use?
No, these are just small generic glasses. The Google glasses are way too expensive. These ones, you've got the camera right in the middle, right above the nose bridge. So they're really handy, and they come in. You get lenses, different lenses. You've got clear ones for obviously shop use, and you've got tinted ones that I use when I go outside and bike ride, etc. So I think I have a link somewhere in my in one of my videos for similar glasses, which people can look at. I'm actually looking for a new replacement set because these guys are pretty old, but they're hard to find. You know, the good ones. I mean.
Well, and what I like is, I mean, I knew type of glasses, and not doing it with a camera, of course, just by the way we're doing it. Also is you keep, and there's not a lot of people doing it, so I really can't judge, but it's the way that you keep on it. Your head's not going all over, and it's you keep it there, and it's think it would be to watch your videos with the glasses on. That's the best way I can put it.
Yeah, there's definitely a learning curve. I mean, in the beginning, I moved my head quite a bit, and going to the toolbox and then quickly panning back. And I've stopped doing that because I've realized, and I've read comments, people didn't like it. So now when I edit my videos, I only edit, or I try to keep the scene in the same place. So rather than turning my head to grab a screwdriver, I'm already back at the shot with the screwdriver. Just one quick thing here. Wyatt was saying that VCDS, he thought that it stood for Vehicle Care Diagnostic Systems or something like that, which it does. I basically broke it up into on my main channel. It says Vehicle Care or something like that, and Diagnostic. I even forget myself. I had to do that because I didn't want VCDS coming after me, right? So on my main channel on YouTube, it says EXO Vehicle Care Diagnostic and Service or something like that. So
it's sort of funny you say that, because one of the only people that picked it up, my main email that I use is MFLSTC, and Wyatt's the only one that picked up what it meant, and it was basically, I added some letters to it for the same reason, because I didn't want to get caught for copyright infringement.
Yeah. Steve wants to know if my glasses are the same that Texas Viking has. Texas Viking has Wing Wang glasses. Mine are also made in Wing Wang, but they've got the North American trademark on there, or a name brand, so I'm paying quite a bit more. Mine are $159, and I think Texas Viking paid under $50 for his.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. He does it too. His quality is decent too from watching his vids.
Yeah, for the money that he said he spent on them, that video is not bad at all. But mine, like I said, it's fairly good quality. I'm shooting at 720p, 60 frames a second, but when I upload it, it's down to 30 frames. So I almost lost track of what I was going to say. Like I said, I'm looking for. Oh, here's the other. These are the guys I view. These guys sent me a pair to try, and they're exactly the same as the ones that I have currently, but the video quality is slightly different. And although the stuff can be adjusted in settings, I can't get the quality to the same as I currently have. So that's why I'm not really using these guys right now. But there is a link on my channel somewhere to these guys here, and if nothing else is available, those are the ones that I'm going to continue buying then at that point, because they suit me fine, they work fine.
The chances of you going to Auto Mechanic Chicago this year, or do you even know about it?
No, I don't go to trade shows unless or any type of tech shows unless it's local. Right now, I can't even leave the country because I don't have my permanent residency card in order. I'm still a German citizen. Here's my nice little passport. but I have to get that Canadian what's it called? The permanent residency card. I have to get that done every 5 years, and I forgot about it last year. So I'm waiting for it, because if I don't get it for this summer, I can't go down to Eric, the car guy meet.
That was actually my next question to you, if you were going to go. And on my live stream that I did with Eric O there in New York, we were talking about that, and I haven't seen anything having it yet this year. If anybody has, please correct me, but I've been watching his newsletters, and usually in February he would put out and start asking who was going to come and stuff. And you can, Eric O had asked me, but you can go to his blog, and he has it on his blog, and that's where he has his newsletters. So you can go into his blog and read his newsletters. Newsletter said was he wasn't sure he was going to do it this year out there, having smaller ones around the country, because people didn't get to actually. And then March's newsletter had nothing mentioned about it, so I really don't know what is for it this year.
Well, worst comes to worst, we just meet up at your house.
And that's well and good. We've been talking about that. I mean, we've been talking to Eric O sort of about doing it and stuff, but everybody's place just seems too small. But 20-acre farm with a mobile home on it, we can all go out there and party and just sleep in that.
Yeah, I'll bring a tent. But like I said, the first thing I gotta do is make sure I get the my card. Once I have my card, I can go anywhere. It's actually, I can leave the country. It's coming back in. That's the issue. So as long as I have that card, everything's gonna be fine. There's a question, where am I from? I'm originally from Germany. I moved to Canada in 1982 when I was 11 years old. My mother remarried, and she moved 5 kids and herself to Canada. So I've been living in Canada since.
I know that you are talking about doing a live stream on, and I just wondered what your plans are for that. If you want to share what your topics may be. I know you really didn't. I don't think you really wanted to make it a car diagnostics type thing, but just sort of what you were planning on with that.
Yeah, last week I mentioned that I'm going to hopefully do a live stream every Sunday, and then I figure I post the videos early, and then I give a chance for people to watch the videos, and then after that have host a live chat in terms of just, talking about the videos or answering some questions. But it's I don't work well under pressure, so specific car questions right off the bat, and that I have to answer or on the fly, it's not really that it's not in my comfort level. So I'd rather just talk about the videos because they're fresh in my mind, because I just finished editing them, but otherwise, as long as the question is simple, sure, I can answer it, but if it gets into specifics, I don't know all my stuff like Humble Mechanic does,
Well, and the other thing is too, depending on what it is, as well as I do, in the live chat, when you have a question, you may have to go and do a little lookup to find the exact answer, or exactly what the answer may be. Where when you're on the fly, it's hard to do that. Sometimes you just can't do that.
No, exactly. I mean, I get tons of questions through YouTube and Instagram, etc. People wanting to know stuff about their car or whatever, and it gives me the opportunity to look it up and then reply back. And I do that fairly quickly. Within the day, usually I'll get back to them. But yeah, on the fly, there's too many variables. With trying to figure out what the problem is. And that's the other thing. You can't hear the car, you can't see the car, you can't smell it. So that totally takes away from the diagnostic side of things. When you have it in your hands, you can see it, hear it, smell it. Right away, you pretty much know what the problem might be. Whereas with a keyboard, there's a lot of guessing going on.
And I just actually had a question like that from some guy, and he was saying about his car was stopping going down the road, and it would just die, and then it would restart. And he goes, you have any idea what it may be? And I said, gee, I'd like to see it. He said, well, some people say it's the fuel pump. Well, the thing that got me was he says, well, when it's doing it, you know, the dash will light up like a Christmas tree and lights will be flashing and all this and that. Well, maybe it was because it had stalled and the lights were just coming on. But the way he made it sound, it was like the lights were like flashing and then coming back on like there was a short. And I said, the way you're talking, it may be a short. And what was the fuel pump? Well, just like you said, without seeing it, I was focusing on the electrical because I was thinking that was what the problem was.
For sure, yeah, and exactly, and stuff like that. You can come across as being an idiot in their mind, you know, because it didn't help. That wasn't it. It was something else. So at that moment in time when you asked me, that was my first instinct. That was my first reaction. You know, had I thought about it longer, I may have come up with something else. So people always think that I have the answer right away, you know, but that's not the case.
And the case that I talked about, I think that's one of those that if I'd have been in the car and seeing it, I went like, oh yeah, that's because it's stalled. But just the way he was focusing on it and talking about it, so it's just one of those things. But I know what you're saying about trying to do it on the fly, and you know you'd like to make a proper or good diagnosis. Also, you don't want to off on a wild goose chase. No,
exactly. Yeah. Sorry, I'm just getting sidetracked here. I think somebody said something about sorry, Steve. What was that? Is he leaving already?
It's about meet up.
BMW build is going fine. Wyatt, thanks for asking. Same as always, still too chicken to floor it, but it's going to be a tire smoker sooner than later. And somebody wants to hear some German. Oh, you want to hear a German joke?
Sure, go ahead.
Let me think about it. Hold on. Okay. Der kleine Peter hat ein neues Dreirad und dann fährt er mit dem Dreirad um das Dorf herum. Dann kommt sein Freund Rudolf vorbei und sagt, du, lass mich das mal fahren. Dann sagt der kleine Peter, nee, du klaust mir das Dreirad, wenn du das fährst. Dann sagt er, nee, ich bringe es gleich zurück. Dann sagt er, okay, dann fahr halt los. Nach 5 Minuten kommt er nicht zurück mit dem Dreirad und dann fängt er zu weinen an. Zu der Zeit kommt dann der Pfarrer vorbei und sagt, ja, warum weinst du denn? Dann sagt er, ich habe einen fahren lassen, der kommt nicht mehr zurück. Ha.
Wyatt probably got it. Wyatt, did you get that? Did you follow it all?
Yeah. No, and see the thing is when I speak German off the fly like that, it's a high German mixed with my low German. There is a huge difference in dialect, and so if I spoke it in my true Southern dialect, it would have come across a lot smoother in terms of less stuttering, etc. If that made any sense. It was basically about a little kid with a new bicycle, and his friend wanted to borrow it, and then he borrowed it and he didn't bring it back. So then the pastor came by and he said, "Why are you crying?" He said, well, in German, when you fart, it says that you let one ride, basically. So he said, "I let one ride and he's not coming back," but it's like you farted and it's not coming back.
My grandparents actually spoke Low German.
Low German, yeah.
So.
Actually, the Snap-on Tool review says, "Oh shit, my Google Translate." Ha ha ha! When you were telling the joke.
Opening my own shop? No, I don't think I want to do that. Not at this point. That's too much of a headache right now, from what I see my boss going through. You know, all the logistics, parts, etc. The deliveries and whatnot. Dealing with customers that don't have the money. You know. That's too much of a headache for me. I don't want to open up a shop yet.
But you do, and if you don't mind me asking, I know you don't really say about where you work and stuff, but it is more like an independent shop than a dealership, correct?
Yeah, it's an independent. It was father and son owned for the last 15 some odd years, and the father retired, so now it's just the son that's running it. The son's been there for over 25 years. Over 28 years. I've been there 25 years this year.
Wow.
I should probably know more than I do, but again, it all stems on, it's as with anything, you learn from where you know, when I started there, I was a young kid, and a lot of the older guys, and back then everything was distributors and points and whatnot. So I just learned from that. And then as the electronic stuff came in, by that time I already did the apprenticeship, so there was no more schooling for me to do after that because I already had my license. There was no need to go back to school. But the point is that once the new stuff came out, we didn't see it for quite a while, at least 10 years later. And so I consider myself to be behind the times right now. And that's why internet and YouTube is great. I just watch all these videos, Scanner Danner, subscribe to him, Eric O, obviously. Learn a lot watching from those guys. But the problem is running your own channel, there's not much time to keep up with everybody, right? You know that too, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, I like to watch a lot of channels, but you know, I have it pared down to just a certain number that I can get in and watch, and a lot of times comments, I go in and watch, and I try to watch most of it, but there's just so much you can watch, you know.
Exactly, you know, and it's the sad, not the sad part, but it's, I don't want to leave somebody disappointed, you know, and they're subscribed to me and I'm not watching their channel, or they get the idea that I'm not watching. So I always try to leave a message and watch as often as I can. But you know, sometimes a video does get missed, and then I feel bad. Steve wants to know when I'm retiring. As soon as he makes room in the basement, I'll move in and I'll retire.